Hey y'all, I am back. I had to go cry. Had to wipe my tears because y'all know I got a reputation to uphold. Cause see, I'm a thug sometimes. Sometimes a little righteous and ratchet. So I can't be letting y'all see me cry. So I went to the bathroom, cried to myself, got all my emotions and my feelings out of the way, and I am back. This is Miss Iconic, the hostess that always does the absolute mostest, and two-tone Tiffany, two-tone Wiley baby will not be joining us tonight, but she will be in the comments watching and cheering me on from afar in spirit. Facebook don't want us to be great, but we gotta let the show go on because we had to get this conversation out. So today we are talking about tonight rather things that we have to question that happen sometimes, and they happen to all of us. Things would be like, okay, is that even morally acceptable? You know, and these are things that happens in society that society tends to accept, but really in the back of our mind, like it ain't right. So y'all know I travel every single week for work. And so those of you that don't know, I'm a freelance makeup artist, and I went to an event recently. I will not name the event or the place. But I went to an event recently, me and my team, which for the most part is an all black team, not on purpose, just happened like that. And so we pull up to the event. The organizers gave us badges with our names on them. It clearly says that we're a part of the staff, we're vendors for the event. We pull up, we're in an Uber. We look a mess because we've been working since 4 o'clock that morning. And the gate guard comes out and stops us and says, "You can't go back here." Now, given, okay, this gate guard was a young tender. He was kind of sexy, had a nice voice. He was kind of built up under them clothes and everything, right? So I'm like, okay, this is going to be easy. Show him my badge. We go on about our business. Show him the badge. Told him, we are working at this event. We need to get in through the backstage. We got a bunch of stuff, and it's too long of a walk for us to go through the front. He said, okay, you can't go through here. Mind you, I showed him my badge. Everybody in the car had a badge with our names on it. He told us we can't go back there. Now, let me set the scene for y'all. The event was an event in which the demographic did not look like me. So, to be clear about what I mean it was majority white and Spanish people. Kind of high class people at that. So when this man looks at me, I did not have my makeup on. I did not have my hair done. I had on work clothes. We all had on work clothes with our logo on it. He refused to let us go. We stood out there about 10 minutes going around in circles with this guy to get in. And he only let us in when an older white woman came and vouched for me and told him, no, she really does work. She's working this event and she needs to come in. The young black guy says, oh, okay, and opens up the gate and tells us to come through. So I told the driver, because we was in an Uber. We was in a big city, so we weren't driving. It was too far to walk. We Ubered. I told the Uber driver, I said, hold on. Stop this car for a minute. I need to ask him a question. So I said, hey, bro, come here to the window that I had rolled down. I said, could you tell me what's the difference between what I told you and who I said I was and what she told you? He was like, no, man, I just had to make sure, You had to make sure I wasn't lying about who I was? You had to make sure exactly what? Because... And I told him straight up, I said, you don't freaking know her. How you know she telling the truth? Why is it that what she said was credible and what I said was not? Anybody out there watching, I need to know your thoughts. If I'm viewing this wrong, if I'm viewing this from, a shallow perspective, let me know. But I need to understand, why was it that this young, black, fat female who looks maybe lower to middle class, why my word was not enough, was not credible enough for him to let me, I'm showing him a badge with my name on it. He did not say, let me call and see, find out what's going on. He did not say, can I see your ID and make sure that that's actually your badge? He didn't say any of that. He totally disregarded and dismissed me and tried to make it seem like he was helping me by telling me to go all the way around. So my question is this also, Jaleesa says I'm totally right. Okay, thank you, Jaleesa. He also said, that he would get in trouble for letting me in, okay, right before he turned me and my team away, right before he let another white man inside, right after us. The white man was standing behind us waiting to get in while me and this young black man were fussing. And I was not disrespectful. I was very polite. I was aggravated, and I let him know that, I need to get in there and I need to get my work done. Your feelings are on point. Maybe because you didn't come from the back like the lady did. So you was right in addressing the situation, and you did stand for something, fall for anything. That's right. So question to you guys. Have anything like that ever happened to you? Like, share your experiences. Like, for me, it kind of made me go back and think, because it's sad, but let me tell you why. I have been discriminated against from somebody that, I faced discrimination with people that were not of my race. And for some reason, that was morally acceptable to me. Okay, they're white, they're discriminating against me, fine. They're Asian, they're Spanish, they're whatever, and they're discriminating against me, cool. I expect that. And for some reason, it was fine to me that someone from another race discriminated against me. But it was a total shocker for another black young man to discriminate against me because of how I looked. And I totally think that that's what it is, because like I said, an older white woman, as soon as she said, no, she is a makeup artist, she needs to come into this event, like now, we need her back here. He said, okay, and that was it. So I guess my question too is, if it was not an older white woman, if it was maybe a black woman or a black man, would they still have been, would them vouching for me have been enough for this gentleman? And God is good. The Lord works in mysterious ways when He do it. Because once we went in, we was only in for a couple of hours. We went in, did what we needed to do, and we came back out. And I was thinking about the whole time what I was going to say, how I was going to read and write him, how I was going to ride him backwards, upside down, and everything else. And when I came out, the young man was gone. And I said, that ain't nothing but a blessing in disguise, because we probably would have had some words. And again, I was not going to be disrespectful to him, but I was going to let him know that that's very sad that you can't even take my word for something. It wasn't even my word. Like, I'm showing you my badge with my name on it. I got my shirt on, my company shirt with I'm telling him, there's our van. There's our company van right there. These were the instructions I got from the organizer of the event. And then he's like, no, you can't do that. They watching me on the camera. I can't let you, that. And I wasn't asking him to do me any favors. I was only trying to do what I was there to do, which was there to work. I didn't ask, I wasn't asking him to break the law, break the rules, lose his job, none of that. So what y'all got to say? Jesse, that's crazy. Sometimes it be your own people. Shaking my head. I don't think you tripping. He didn't know you or the white lady and still took her word over yours. Correct. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think if it was maybe an older black woman, that he still would have took her word and allowed me to come in freely? Jennifer Sweeney says, I think you are 100% right. Total disrespect. He discriminated against you more than once. Absolutely. And like I said, we ran around for about 10 or 15 minutes. And it was so much said and so much going on. And I was so irritated. I don't want to take up all the time on that situation, but I did want to share that. Exactly, Jaleesa. No badge, no nothing. She showed him nothing. I showed him everything. And still, it was just like, and you know what? I guess I'm a little guilty because I did kind of play the color card a little bit. And I felt like since he was a young black man, apparently from the hood, I felt like he should have like just let me slide. But I got like you're not gonna get in trouble, bro. Like I got my badge, you got my name on it. Like this is not no illegal transaction you doing, none of that. Hop on one leg, bark like a dog. Oh my gosh, you're crazy. But yeah, so like what are some other situations where y'all could think of where it's like, is this even morally right? You know what I'm saying? For example, and I don't want to make this a black and white thing. Because so many situations we try to make black and white, but there are so many different elements that play a part of the situation when it comes to racism, when it comes to stereotyping, and we all are guilty of it. But you know, with this situation, it just really, really opened my eyes. It really did. I've been so stereotypical before. I say, people hear me say all the time, like, I love my nails, I love my wigs, and I love food. Those are the three things that I don't play about and I will spend a lot of money on. So with my nails, I've been kind of budgeting. So I have been going to the Asian nail shops. My Asian babies, my Asian boos. No offense, but Dominicans are just top notch when it comes to doing nails. And if I have a choice between an Asian or a Dominican, I'm going to choose a Dominican. And so I make Asian nail shop jokes all the time, and I probably shouldn't because I'm sure there are some really great Asian nail techs. But I do it, and it's a stereotype. And if you put two of them in front of me, I'm going to automatically go with the Dominican because I feel like they do a much better job with nails. They slay my nails every single time. Like, okay, so for instance, also, if you want to throw in some other nationalities in there, let's talk about Mexicans, all right? Let's talk about Mexicans. I recently heard some people having a conversation, and I don't remember if it was a young lady or who was, it was a group of people, and somebody mentioned they needed some work done on their home, some remodeling, some updates, and things like that. So the gentleman tells her, well, why don't you get a Mexican? They do it for like dirt cheap, and you don't have to pay them anything. And I'm like, I laughed because it was funny. I'm going to laugh if it's funny, okay? But I thought about, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? That was wrong on so many levels because why, when we want something done for cheap, why are we going to go to a Mexican? Just because they are known for working very hard, being very humble people. You know what I'm saying? Working for cheap, whatever. But why are we sticking that stereotype and saying, okay, if you want something done for cheap, go to a Mexican? That's not right. We should be seeking people that do good work and who are going to do quality work and give us the results that we want rather than seeking somebody just because they're cheap. It may sound petty to you. It may sound shallow. It may not be a big deal, but it's not a big deal to you because you're not Mexican. It's a big deal to me because I'm not Mexican either, but I don't take up for my kind. I don't really play the color card most of the time, but I do sometimes. But I don't really play the color card. I don't take up, I don't have favorites. I don't do any of that. I'm a very fair, very real person, and I take up for that which I feel is right. So if I want something done for cheap, am I going to hunt a Mexican? No. Of course, everybody wants a bargain, but I'm going to hunt for somebody who's going to do a great job and going to get the job done right. If that happens to be a Mexican and I happen to get a deal, then cool. Because I'm not against bargains or sales or deals. But I'm not going to go and say, oh, you want something cheap, get a Mexican because you ain't got to pay them nothing but peanuts. That was just another situation. Also recently, this ate me up. I was in a bigger city. Okay, I'm from Cocoa. So Cocoa, was more considered a town, not a city. But I was in a bigger city. Before I move on, let me see. Hey, Jeremy. Denise says, your badge, your company van should have been proof enough. So the van wasn't my company, but it was a sister company. But the badge was mine. Everything else was mine. I paid a healthy sponsorship fee to be at that event, just like everybody else did. So, yeah, Jesse, business minded, file a complaint. Jessica Snyder, I was going to file a complaint, but I was going to get the young man's name, and I did not do that. So, I mean, could I still file a complaint? Yes. Could they figure out who it was that was working during that time? Yes. I'm not in the business of getting anybody fired, but I did want him to know how I felt. I do want him to know I didn't appreciate it. So in hindsight, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I should file a complaint, but I don't think I will this time. Tiffany Two-Tone says, I had a female friend who was at the store. A white man came up to her and said he couldn't give her a compliment on her hair because black women don't know how to handle compliments. Ooh. Shut up. Two-Tone, I need you on this live, girl. Okay, so I must say, the fact that black women don't know how to handle compliments, I don't think that's a black woman thing. I think that's very subjective, and it's on an individual basis, because I'm a black woman, and no, I don't know how to handle compliments. But it's not because I just don't know how to handle compliments. It's because every time somebody has ever given me one, they wanted something from me. Every time a man has given me a compliment in the past, they wanted sex, they wanted money, they wanted to come lay up in my house, they wanted me to cook and clean for them and play house, while they, wanted to screw me whenever they wanted to screw me. But no, you cannot do that. And so a compliment to me means you got some underlying, objectives here, and you want something from me other than just a compliment. So for that man to have said that, I feel like that was very disrespectful to that black woman. If he wanted to give her the compliment, just give her the damn compliment and leave all that other shit out, because that is what made it disrespectful. For him to say black women don't know how to handle compliments, what if she would have turned around and said, well, white women don't know how to handle black men and disrespect from black men? Then it would have become a racial war. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you don't, and I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying you have to look from both perspectives. Again, this is Real Soul Speak. This is a place where you can come judgment free. You can, we encourage different perspectives without having to feel like somebody gonna jump on your case for having an opinion. You're not gonna say nothing to me about having an opinion, and nobody's gonna say anything about anybody else, not on this platform, because that's not what we're about. We want to learn and grow from everybody's experiences. So I think that white guy at that store was very disrespectful to that black woman for saying that. He don't know what she have dealt with in her past. I was in an abusive relationship. Any compliment that came with me was followed by an ass whipping. So why should I accept a compliment kindly and smile when somebody give that to me? No, when you give me a compliment, I know something's coming behind it. So that's not fair at all to that lady that he gave that sideways ass compliment to. Rachel, I get treated very different when traveling for work. If I am not dressed professionally, unfortunately, people make assumptions based on appearance. I do agree. And I do agree, Rachel, that to some extent that you should dress the part. But again, I have been working since 4 o'clock that morning. I don't do my makeup when I go, because my main focus is getting the other girls ready and getting those athletes, prepared. And if I'm at a wedding, I'm focused on the wedding party and making sure your family and your guests is taken care of, making sure you look your best on your day, because it's not about me. Should I show up groomed? Of course. And I was groomed. But by the time I done sweated for 10 hours, I ain't groomed no more. I'm a mess. My wig was sitting sideways. I'm hot and sweaty. I don't have no eyebrows because I done sweated them off. And the ones I didn't sweat off, I wiped off from wiping off the sweat. So again, I think people need to be more sensitive to how they handle people and more empathetic to people's situations, because nobody has the right to treat you different based on your appearance. And I have gotten into it with churches, bishops, pastors. Pastors have unfriended me. Preachers have unfriended me. Reverends have unfriended me on Facebook for voicing my opinion, but I don't care about a title. And I make that very clear. I'm very vocal about that, because I should be able to express myself as should anybody else about anything, because that's my truth. So no, nobody should be judged based on their appearance. But I get when you're in a professional setting, you do kind of have to, mold yourself. You kind of got to be a chameleon. And you have to do a certain amount of work to kind of change that narrative, because we don't want to show up with a bonnet on our head, looking a mess, you know what I'm saying, drawers hanging out, pants hanging down, clothes all wrinkled up and dingy. We don't want to do that, because they already look at us, black people, like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so in order to change the story that people tells themselves about us, we have to conduct ourselves in a certain way. And unfortunately, like you said, people do make assumptions based on appearance. So I absolutely agree with that. Tanika, preach. So Tanika, you actually were one of the artists that were there. I would love to hear your thoughts without getting too much in depth about specifics of where we were and who it was. I would love to hear your thoughts and how you felt. And we did briefly talk about it, but not much. Ivy Lewis, yeah, I have trust issues when it comes to compliments. It's not a color thing. It's absolutely not. Absolutely not. Jessica Snyder, how does this young man learn a lesson unless you file a complaint? How can your experience be productive to this young man if you don't handle it? You know what? Okay. I like I said, I wasn't going to file a complaint because I felt like my time already passed or something. But you know what? You're absolutely right. A lesson is a lesson. It doesn't matter who, how long, when, how. I agree. I absolutely agree. And Jessica, I'm going to file that complaint. So I appreciate you saying that. Because I can't answer your question. And the fact that I can't answer your question lets me know that I need to go ahead and just file the damn complaint. Okay? So, anyway, that's all the questions. What I was going to say also, I love to eat. I love to eat. So, I go to a restaurant. I'm a great tipper. Okay? Let me say that off top. I'm a great tipper. I like VIP service. So there are certain restaurants that I go to and I tip every single time. And I mean, there's some restaurants I go to every week and I've never tipped less than $3 or $4. Even if on a $10 meal, I've never tipped less than $3 or $4, or I always tip something. I don't care if it's $1, always. So I go to the restaurant, me and a friend, and we're sitting down, and for 15 minutes, I know what y'all gonna say. Why did you let this go on for 15 minutes? Because, see, I'm an observer and I'm a thinker. And I like to, let everything play out. That way, when people come with the excuses, I can counter it. Oh, you didn't see us? All 3 times that you looked me in my face and turned your head, you didn't see us? Cool. Where's your manager? So anyway, we go there. And we're sitting there for 15 minutes after we had already spoken to 3 servers. Hey, how are you? How does this work? Do we seat ourselves? Do we need to order at the bar? Could you, we're not from here. Let us know how this works and we'll be happy to oblige, okay? All right. So she said, yeah, you just seat yourself. Somebody will be over there soon. Cool. We get there, like I said, 15 minutes later, no one has come over. So I literally was going to sit there and see how long it was going to take before I complained. I didn't care if it was 45 minutes before anybody came. I was going to sit. So finally, after the 15 minutes, a young lady came out the bar. She was not even a server. She was a bartender. So she said, nobody helped you or whatever. No. Well, my thing was, and this is not the only time that this has happened. This happens to me a lot, and I just don't say anything. People look at certain races and say, I'm not going to wait on them because they're not even finna tip me. And again, you don't need to do that, because there are some people who have missed out. I have lost a lot of money teaching people lessons. Lost a lot of money. A girl did that to me. I was coming back from Detroit. I don't remember if I was still in the Detroit airport or if I had gone to the Chicago airport. And I went to go sit down. A young lady came and told me I could not sit there. And I said, what do I need to do to be able to sit inside of the restaurant where I just spent money purchasing food? Well, you purchased to go. This is for dine-in only. Okay, well, if it's a different price or whatever you need me to do, I will do that. She said, no, I'm sorry, you can't. I was like, I didn't say a word. I sat there. I scooted my chair back. I put my little stuff. I took another sip of my drink. Put it down. I looked at her. She walked away. I got up. And I went and I took my bag to the manager. Manager said, hi, can I help you? I said, yes. A young lady just told me I cannot sit inside the restaurant. And I'm trying to figure out, what is it that I need to do, pay, order? How do I make this dine in and not take out? She said, you're fine. Just have a seat. And I said, well, that's funny, because it was a big situation, a big scene about me sitting there. You know, I'm not from here. I'm sure you get people that are foreign all the time. I'm not from here. You know, I'm traveling. I don't want no problems. I just want to know what I need to do so I can follow your rules. Oh, no, it's no problem. Have a seat. Child, I had a seat. Do y'all know I was in there maybe 45 minutes eating? Not one server, the manager's ass included. I'm going to jump on her too. Not one server came and said, ma'am, do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? Are you doing okay? You know, can I get anything for you? Not one. Every single one of them walked by me like I was not sitting there. So you know what I did? At the end of the day, when I got done eating, I rolled up $20. And I took it to the lady who told me to just, even though her ass didn't come help me either, but she did. It was a lesson. And I made sure I did it in front of them same girls that told me I could not sit there. Here you go, baby. Take that. Thank you so much for being so kind. You hear me? Keep it up. God loves you. All right. Yeah, but sometimes it's going to cost to teach people lessons, because that's what I do. I live by principle. And since you want to be nasty and tell me I can't sit here, you just lost out on these $20. And you know it's going to take you about 4 hours. Maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating. But you know it's going to take you about 2-3 hours to make these $20. And you could have made it just doing nothing. I didn't need nothing. I didn't ask for nothing. I wasn't being needy. Nothing. But yeah, so anyway, what are some other situations? And I don't just want to hear from black people. Black people, if y'all got situations, let me know, because we just talking. But I want to hear from everybody. I want to hear from like some other race. What are some things that you guys experience, you know what I'm saying, that society has accepted and you just think it's just morally off? What we got? Off topic. El Ancito has new empanadas delicious. Erica, get. Tanika says she felt very disrespectful, baffled for sure. Honestly, it's still on my mind, especially with other things going on. It's on mine too. And it's weird because I tend to be like, what they say, like a duck, feathers, you let the water slide off. I tend to do that. But for some reason, this really, really bothered me. It really did. So I'm with you, Tanika. Jessica, file a complaint every time. I got you, girl. Teach me, doc. I got doctor friends that teach me lessons and shit. Hey. Two-Tone says I would have smooth walked out. No, because I wanted her to know that she fucked up by not being more kind to me. Because she could have said that in a nicer way. You can't sit here. I said, well, is this not part of the restaurant? Well, yeah, but it's only for dining and you order takeout. Ooh, child. The Lord may be showing you injustices because he's trusting you to speak up every single time in honor of the shy girl who may come after you. Sometimes we're protecting who comes after us. Wow. Jessica, that was so profound and prolific and absolutely for sure. Because I got a mouth. You hear me? And I ain't scared to let people know what I'm thinking either. Sometimes it get me in trouble. But I'm not scared to let people know what I think. So I think I definitely am a voice for the voiceless and for the people who can't speak up for themselves and for the people who, you know what I'm saying, they can't, they're just embarrassed or for whatever reason, or they think somebody gonna treat them. I don't care. Treat me how you want to. Think what you feel. You finna hear what I got to say. So you're absolutely right. I love it. Y'all, we're going to wrap up. I'm at my 30-minute mark on Real Soul Speak. I thank every single last one of you guys for tuning in, riding out this 30-minute wave with me on top of the other 45-minute wave. I promise next week we're going to get back together. You know, Facebook was just doing some shenanigans today. Everything was working fine. And as soon as we got ready to go live, like, y'all, I put on makeup. And I took my bummy ass wig out my closet and I combed it. I don't do that. And Facebook tried it today. So next week, we're going to be back. The two of us, Miss Iconic and Tiffany Two-Tone Wiley, baby. Thank y'all again for tuning in. I'm just going to go through these questions real quick. Why would you waste money for a lesson? If you learned a lesson, baby, there was no money wasted. Like I tell anybody, people say, is there anything you regret that you've ever done? I don't regret a single thing. I might not have done it the way I did it if I would have known better, but I don't regret it because everything I've ever done or everything that has ever happened to me, good or bad, I've always learned a lesson from it. So that lesson is priceless. So no, I do not regret anything. I don't. Ivy Lewis says, I've done that. My boyfriend and I sat in a restaurant and ordered drinks. Anyone white came out the restaurant and stared. Not friendly. I paid for the drinks and left a tip. I could have really blessed the waiter, but they lost that by treating it. Yep. Come through, Jazz. You ain't lying. Hey, I got insurgent friends. Hey. All right, y'all. I thank you again so much. I cannot say it enough. So sorry about the technical difficulties. We gonna holler at Facebook. They make too much money for stuff to be acting up. I guarantee you, it wasn't my phone, and it wasn't my counterparts. It wasn't her phone either. But again, thank y'all. What I want to leave y'all with, though, let me say this, because with all that we just discussed, I don't like to leave all that negative energy just out there floating around. So we want to reel it back in, and we want to leave off with a very peaceful point. Be kind, you guys. No matter how much shit I talk, and I talk a lot of shit, when it comes down to how you handle people and how I treat people with kindness and I treat people with respect. I'm very empathetic and I have not always been like that. But you never know. You never know how people need somebody. People need a kind word, an encouraging word, to be uplifted, a smile, a helpful hand. You never know until you're that person and nobody is there to smile, to help, to hug you. Not a shoulder to lean on, nothing. You never know. So what I'm going to leave you with is just be kind, y'all. Be kind. Speak up for yourselves. And if you see some type of injustice or something going on with somebody else, don't say, that's not my problem. It is your problem. It's all of our problems. Because the longer we sit by and we let it go on, the longer it will go on. And soon, like it has done, it will become the norm. And it's not good when things are going on, when we're seeing injustices, when children are getting killed and people are getting discriminated against and people getting murdered and all this stuff. The world is just, whoo. I can't stand to watch the news, y'all, because the world is just up in disarray. With everything going on, we cannot afford to sit by and just watch this stuff happen. You have to make a change. You have to be that change. So be kind, handle people more carefully, Because you never know what people are going through, y'all. It's been so real. I got my girl, Tiffany Two-Tone Wiley, baby, in the comments, standing by my side. That's my homegirl, y'all. That's my dog. And y'all already know who this is. It's the hostess that always does, the absolute mostest, Miss Iconic. And thank y'all for tuning in. This is Real Soul Speak, baby. Hey.